From the Whiskey Tangent Studios in Marlton, New Jersey, this is Whiskey Tangent News.
Hey everybody, this is Ed from the Whiskey Tangent Podcast here with another episode of Whiskey News. Woo! And joining me as always is Scott.
Hey everybody.
And let me tell you what we're going to get into today. We're going to have 8 different news stories for you. 2 of them are going to be what we call industry news. 2 is going to check in on the competition circuits. 2 stories are going to be science and health, and always entertaining. 2 stories will be true crime.
That's right.
Love the true crime.
Yes.
We'll also tell you 16 new whiskeys coming out that you can buy this month, and then, of course, what's coming up for the rest of the year on the podcast.
That's right. So it is October of 2025, and here's all the news that's fit to drink. The first story in industry news, the Robb Report and spirits business, Diageo has halted production at 2 iconic American distilleries.
Okay.
Late last month, the behemoth drinks company Diageo announced that it had ceased whiskey production at its George Dickel and Balcones facilities.
Wow.
Yeah. Cascade Hollow, the home of Tennessee's George Dickel, has been closed temporarily, although the visitor center remains open and there have been no layoffs. However, Balcones, the Texas distillery that Diageo acquired in 2022, paused both its distilling and barrel filling operations, resulting in 17 jobs lost. However, it too is still open to visitors. Regarding Balcones in particular, a Diageo spokesperson indicated that this is just an annual shutdown period meant to support efficiency and productivity goals, as they are, quote, ahead of schedule with the volume we produce at the site. So we decided to temporarily pause operations through June of 2026. Over the past year, Diageo also halted production at its Rowe & Company distillery in Dublin, Ireland, its carbon-neutral distillery in Lebanon, Kentucky, where Bullet Bourbon is partially produced, and as we reported last month, announced its largest Crown Royal bottling plant in Ontario. In Ontario.
Ontario?
In Ontario. In Ontario.
No, you did it again. Oh my God, this is great. Don't cut any of this.
I know. I always abuse you when you
hardly ever mispronounce anything.
Ontario, Canada.
Lovely.
Would close next year. Mm-hmm. And Diageo is not alone. Other distilleries have paused operations as well, including Pernod Ricard's Middleton Distillery in Ireland, where Jameson and Redbreast are produced, Brown-Forman's Glenglassaugh Distillery in Scotland, and even MGP announced it was scaling back its whiskey production almost a year ago, which we reported on at the time. The bad news is that the future of the spirits industry remains uncertain because of decreased demand and increased tariffs. The good news is that all of these production pauses could indeed be temporary, but because of the additional 1-2 punch of the current economic climate and downturns in consumption and sales, it's best to take the PR speak with a grain of salt when you hear explanations about why this is actually happening. I mean, I just saw a thing, and it's beer, so I didn't report on it, but Molson Coors just laid off 400 people. That's a big company.
Right. So here's the thing. Once again, I go back to COVID when everybody was home drinking more. People were able to ratchet up the supply, right? They started making more. Mm-hmm. Which is interesting because you're aging stuff 4, 5, 6 years. But then we went back to work and people stopped drinking 2 bottles of whiskey a week like I was. And well, allegedly. I don't really remember it.
That's right. It's like true crime, allegedly.
Allegedly. And so for the last, going back to July, I know that I saw a report in Forbes magazine that said for the 12 months of July to July, sales had gone down something like 4.7% and revenue had gone down 5.1%, which sounds bad. However, it had spiked up during COVID. What I'd like to know is where does the revenue today compared to the revenue of 5, 6 years ago?
Right.
You know what I mean? Is it comparable? I don't know this. I mean, I certainly could have done the research before I got on here today, but I didn't because Scott just read the article to me.
Right.
But like, for example, like a Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme dominated the whole donut industry and then somehow found a way to mess it up. You know what I mean? Where they're desperately trying to partner with McDonald's to resurrect their product.
Yeah.
Now, people say like, oh, it's healthiness. Are Americans really that healthy? No. If you market your donuts properly, people will be happy to eat them.
Yeah. As I did in Kentucky when we stopped by McDonald's and they were stopped serving breakfast about 4 minutes before we got there.
Right.
I was like, oh, they still have donuts. And I'm a pretty healthy person, but I will eat a donut for sure.
Scott likes his donuts, but he also goes to the gym 5 days a week. So the point I'm trying to say is when they're saying that they're pausing production production, what it tells me is we have enough whiskey right now. We have to move what we have because our storage facilities are also filled up, and that if we keep making whiskey, because sales have dropped that 5%, we're going to have nowhere to put it. So to me, this has all been a natural correction. If there's a glut of whiskey for the consumer's point of view, I would think that prices should come down and we should find more available whiskey that's in a better price range. So we'll see.
So I will take a counterpoint.
Yeah.
So Jane, you ignorant slut. So old Saturday Night Live, if you know, you know. I agree with you in principle, but this has been going on for almost a year now, where we're seeing the contraction.
A little bit more, yeah.
And it could be that these big companies are not seeing the profits year over year, and they're seeing those decreases where there had been increases. So maybe they're a little bit too sensitive to that, and maybe they're jumping the gun on layoffs and halting production. But as we go into more than a year of this, this is becoming a problem.
Okay.
And especially as it said in the last paragraph of that, where interest is now also declining. The younger generation is not drinking as much as the millennials were drinking, and certainly not as much as Gen X is drinking. So I'm wondering if this is just a phantom reaction to market conditions and there will be a correction of the correction.
Yeah.
Or if this downturn will continue to happen and we'll enter the doldrums of the 70s and 80s again.
It's possible. Production is down, as I said, 5%. And in some cases, certain categories of whiskey down almost as much as 9% the last year. Mm-hmm. But here's an interesting stat that just shows you why you might have to stop production for a little bit. From 2019 to 2024, Kentucky barrel inventories grew from 9.8 million to 14.2 million. So in 5 years, they increased the amount of whiskey present in Kentucky by 40%, just when the slowdown happens. Mm-hmm. So it's natural that you stop producing whiskey.
Yeah, it's just the weird nature of the whiskey industry that you have to wait a certain period of time to make anything good.
Right,
and
to
then
age it.
Once you do that, the market conditions could have totally changed. And that's what's happened.
Right.
Yeah.
And by the time some of this whiskey is at the 6, 8, 10-year mark, the whole whiskey landscape could change again.
That's right.
It's like, listen, look, let's say Scott and I owned a pizza place. And anticipating a busy Friday night, we just start making pizzas, and we make 100 pizzas.
Right.
And then we don't know that there's like a electrical pole down across the road to our pizza place and no one's coming. Well, you know, instead of $15 a pie, we start selling them for like $8 a pie, and we start calling people up, and you know, we donate them to shelters, and we have to get rid of them now.
And half of them we have to like freeze or something.
Yeah, we're freezing them if that's a thing. You know, so it's like, and I have to fire 2 of our delivery drivers because they can't get down the street.
Or we're getting in 30 pounds because we're eating them.
Right. Well, you know, I'm a cleaner. We clean it. But so, I mean, that's a stupid analogy I just did. But the point is,
no, that's pretty good.
You know,
actually.
Right. But I mean, if expanded on top of what they did, they were like, everybody was buying, so they never want to run out of product. And once again, some people did run out of product, right? We've criticized Buffalo Trace and some of those people for not having enough Eagle Rare.
Right. Now we're criticizing for having too much.
Right. So it's like,
well, we're not. We're criticizing.
No, I'm just, but the truth is, it's an interesting thing. If somebody just expanded, put in another distillery and 15 more rick houses, and then the slowdown happens, they're in trouble. They may have to take loans. They may have to let some people off.
Right. So the 17 jobs that were lost at Balcones, we don't know, one, if they're coming back, because they could be, or two, if those jobs were added during the production increase.
Right.
So it's kind of like seasonal work, right? They hire a lot of people around the holidays because they need all those people, but then the knowledge is, you know, you're only working for like 2 months and then you leave.
And part of the decline, let's remember, did deal with the threat of tariffs. Canada shut down importing American whiskey, and even to this day,
they're still not
selling and buying American whiskey in Canada because they've adapted an attitude about it.
So
even though
our number one whiskey exporter,
and they are the number one purchaser of American whiskey, so that didn't help anything.
And importer, frankly.
Right, because Crown Royal in certain years is the most drank whiskey in America.
Yeah.
I know I can still buy Crown Royal, Scott, so I don't know about you.
No, we're awash in Crown Royal.
Yeah, they have no problem us buying the Crown Royal.
It may be slightly more expensive, but yeah.
The fact is, they're not buying any of our bourbon or rye.
That's the big problem,
on top of the American consumer drinking less as well.
All right,
anyway,
so
that was a lot to be on the first story. So
that was a lot. I will cut that down into whatever sounds the best.
It's a very relevant issue right now.
It is, and we'll continue to cover it.
Right.
So the second story that we have in industry news is from Whiskey Advocate. Willett Distillery Patriarch Evan Kulsveen has died.
Yes.
Evan Kulsveen, best known for resurrecting the Willett Distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky, which helped pioneer the renaissance of American whiskey, died on September 23rd at the age of 79. Although the cause of death was not released, he had been battling stage 4 lymphoma since 2018. As we mentioned on our Willett episode 81, Kulsveen was born in Norway and emigrated to the United States at the age of 14, eventually going to work for Thomson Willett at his distillery. There he met Thomson's daughter Martha, and the two were married in 1972, just in time for the bourbon industry to enter the long slowdown of the 70s and 80s. Willett was soon shuttered, whereupon Evan and Martha gained ownership of the property in 1984, using the space to become an independent bottler of quality-aged bourbons and rye, and doing a brisk business operating under the Kentucky Bourbon Distillers name with brands like Willett Family Estate. Yep. In 2012, Kulsveen restarted the distillation at Willett and later passed on management duties to his children, Britt and Drew. In 2019, Kulsveen was inducted into the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame and received the Kentucky Distillers Association's Parker Beam Lifetime Achievement Award.
We learned a lot about him when we were in Kentucky. And once again, Willett Distillery. Great egg salad sandwich at the little restaurant at Willett.
Yeah, everything was great there. The tour was great. The lunch.
Yeah, the tour was great because every time
cocktails, the stuff they had on tap.
Yeah, as they were touring you, you'd come upon a bottle and you'd get a taste of it.
That's right. They had the bottles just sort of placed like in the rick house, like next to the barrels.
Instead of doing the tour for like an hour and then coming back for a tasting, like every 15 minutes we were doing whiskey, which was awesome.
It was great. Yeah, so that's sad.
It's sad. I mean, Pioneer, 79, 85 better, but the poor guy was fighting lymphoma since 2018.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of a surprise he lived 7 years with stage 4 lymphoma. That's really bad diagnosis.
Shows you what whiskey can do for you if you keep yourself properly pickled.
There you go. We might refute that later on in Science and Health.
Okay, here we go. Right,
But we're going to do first the competition circuit. So we are going to do the results of the Global Whiskey Challenge.
Yes.
They have named their top winners. So they did hold it, even though we weren't able to attend.
Well, it was small. They said they got half as many entries than last year because of tariffs and the industry slowed down. People were like saving money, which I think is a mistake because, you get a lot of marketing from these challenges and circuits.
And the Global Whiskey Challenge was an up-and-coming kind of competition.
Right. I really think they'd made great strides the last couple years, and he does other, right?
Yeah, there's the North American one, and they do wine competitions and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so he's really embraced the competition circuit. They give really good, expensive trophies.
Yeah, and we met the judges, and they are legit.
And we were hoping to join them this year as judges, but they just simply didn't need to take on extra judges, so there's no reason for us to fly out to Denver this year.
Hopefully next year. Double golds, I'll go through those.
Yeah.
They gave 1, 2, 8. And I will say, most of them you have not heard of.
And I will say this, though. Unlike other ones, the Global Whiskey Challenge doesn't just throw them out like water. Some people give out 107 double golds. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. Yeah, they're very selective.
Yeah, they're very selective. If you get a double gold at the Global Whiskey Challenge, you've earned it.
You have to earn over a certain point number.
From all the judges.
Yeah. So the double gold, I'm going to alphabetical order. Something called Ampersand Optimus, 15-year Toki wine finish bourbon from the Foley Family Wine and Spirits Company in Santa Rosa, California. The Goose Island Bourbon County Stout Cask Finish American Single Malt from the Virginia Distillery Company in Livingston, Virginia. Langskip Single Malt Scotch from Wolfburn Distillery in Thurso, Scotland. A Lithgow Founders Collection 9-year 4-grain bourbon from Lithgow Bourbon in Louisville, Kentucky. Mountain Angel 10-year American Single Malt Whiskey from Stranahan's in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
The Rocker Bourbon finished in port wine barrels from Rocker Spirits in Littleton, Colorado. And the Uncle Nearest Single Barrel Whiskey Batch 3633, I guess that was their latest, the Nearest Green Distillery in Shelbyville, Tennessee.
No, not the Chapter 13 edition.
Bankruptcy.
No, just kidding. They're doing fine. They got a little financial problem with their investors.
Yes, go back one or two
go back
news episodes.
2 episodes and you'll hear a little creative accounting by their CFO.
So from those, then they got together and chose the top 3. Right. So in number 3, the Ampersand Optimus 15-year Toki wine finish bourbon.
So interesting.
Yeah. Number 2, Rocker Bourbon finished in the port wine barrels.
Okay.
And the number 1 winner of the Global Whiskey Challenge is the Langskip Single Malt Scotch from Scotland.
And it's a pretty cool bottle. I've seen that.
And those guys, so we met them, and those guys do really like single malts, whether it be American single malts or Scotch single malts.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is a particularly smoky one, as I was researching. I think it's more of a Highland type Scotch.
Okay.
So that's it.
And you said there's 2 stories.
Oh, yes, right. So there's another competition circuit story, and this is from WHAS 11 in Louisville. Rabbit Hole named Best Distillery Tour. We didn't go on that one.
We didn't.
Even though I wanted to.
You did.
Jeff and Ed vetoed me. on the tour. But it also did not fit in with the rest of the tours that we wanted to do.
It wasn't anything against Rabbit Hole.
No. So the World Travel Awards, a global program that recognizes and rewards excellence in the travel, tourism, and hospitality industries, recently recognized the Rabbit Hole Distillery as the best bourbon tour in the United States. This is the 4th year in a row that Rabbit Hole has been nominated as a top bourbon distillery tour, but this is the first time that it has actually won. Said founder Kaveh Zalminian, "We are incredibly honored to receive this recognition from the World Travel Awards. Our team has worked tirelessly to create an authentic and engaging experience that showcases the heart and soul of what makes Rabbit Hole so special."
Thinking of how opposite Nulu would be. Like,
right. So we chose Nulu over Rabbit Hole, even though they were so close together, but Nulu had the tour that was more conducive to our schedule.
That was the first day, right? The Nulu. So it was the first day we were in Kentucky, and
we drank like 80 whiskeys the first day.
So it's like you walk in there and it's like just a bar, right? And then you go to the end of the bar and you go through a door and you're into like a middle school gymnasium is what it looks like. It's like a science fair. Like they got these half walls up with all the history of the Nulu and, New Louisville, the history of the crime and prohibition and all that.
Yeah.
And then you go through another door, and it's this giant rick house.
The warehouse is in there.
The warehouse, but there's no racks. They just have them stacked on top of each other like kegs of beer.
Right.
And like
they're not on their side.
No, they're vertical.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if they flip them or whatever, but I think they said they flip them eventually. But
they do. They go through them.
Every 3 months they flip them. So then there's a bar in there. We sit down there, and all the Nulu products there. And I think Larry was his name.
Larry. Yeah. I think so.
He starts pouring us whiskeys.
We had like 8 or 9 whiskeys there.
And then, wasn't there like a rum or a tequila?
There was tequila too.
Yeah. So the difference, I don't know what Rabbit Hole was doing, but I know they weren't just throwing a dozen whiskeys at you.
It's true.
Because what happened is that wasn't part of the tour. I'm going to say that. So
it wasn't, no.
I want everyone to know that Nulu has standards. And
everyone had left, and then we said we had a podcast, and he's like, well, stick around, and I'll pour you some stuff.
So the 3 of us and him hung out for a while after the tour was over, and we got, the special backstage Whiskey Tangent tour, and it was a great time. And there wasn't one thing that we sipped on that wasn't amazing.
Yeah.
Nulu is one of the hidden gems in Kentucky when it comes to whiskey.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Rabbit Hole deserved it. And once again, we had some really pretty, Bardstown Bourbon Company is a beautiful tour, very polished.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went on several, and actually there were 6 more that were nominated, and we went to 3 of them.
Yeah.
So there was Angel's Envy.
Yes.
Jim Beam.
Yes.
Maker's Mark, which we did not get to.
No.
The TX Whiskey Ranch in Fort Worth, Texas, which was in Texas, so we didn't go to that one. But Wild Turkey.
Yes.
And Woodford Reserve.
Which we did not do.
Which we did not do. Right.
I mean, the Wild Turkey one, I don't know what one they were on. We got to go to one old ancient rickhouse and hear great stories.
Yeah. It wasn't quite a tour per se, but it was.
Y'all feel like walking a lot or not walking a lot? We're like, not walking a lot. All right, well, so this is our oldest rickhouse.
And now I'm going to tell you 3 amazing stories.
Right. Yeah,
while you sip on our whiskeys.
Yeah, he's like Albert T. Lee, Eddie Russell, and Booker
No. Right. They're playing poker.
Used to get together and play poker every Thursday or Friday night.
And bring their like new stuff and like have everyone try it. Great story.
It was like Albert T. Lee liked to drink his with Coke or something.
Yeah.
Someone drank it with Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
We got to go back and listen to it. But it was really fun.
Yeah. Episode 79. That's probably part 2.
Yeah, so it was pretty good.
All right. So the next thing we're doing is Science and Health.
This is never fun. We get emails from people who want to tell us how unhealthy alcohol is and that basically we're the devil.
Wow.
And then we get people who want us to help promote their no hangover.
Yeah, I didn't get back to him. I
didn't know what at first he did. I thought he was yelling at us at first, and I realized that he was like, "No, you can drink, but we should do this. Drink it this way."
I should have reached out to ask for samples. Maybe I will, and maybe you'll hear that soon. I don't know.
Yeah.
So this is from I Am Matters from ACP.
Right.
And full disclosure, I work for ACP. This is an organization, the American College of Physicians in Philadelphia.
Right.
It's a 100-year-old medical society.
Yes.
And how much alcohol is too much?
Okay.
After this year's Surgeon General report, which concluded that any alcohol consumption increases the risk of 7 different types of cancer, the question physicians are asking themselves is there any amount of alcohol that's safe to consume?
Well, that's interesting.
Dr. Elizabeth Salisbury Afshar, an addiction medicine physician at UW Health in Madison, Wisconsin, puts it succinctly. The safest option is to not drink at all. Other experts like Alex W. Christ, a professor of family medicine and population health at Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, agreed, saying, from a clinician perspective, I think adopting the mindset that any amount might be unhealthy probably makes more sense. The current dietary guidelines for Americans published prior to the Surgeon General's report recommend that alcohol consumption should be limited to 2 drinks per day for men and 1 drink per day for women. For context, a drink is defined as 12 ounces of 5% ABV beer, 5 ounces of 12% ABV wine, or 1.5 ounces of 40% ABV spirit. So anything over those limits is considered unhealthy. But what are those risks specifically? Well, the report found that consuming alcohol raises the risk of developing cancers of the mouth, throat, esophagus, voice box, colon, rectum, and breast, with each having a dose-response relationship. For men, the lifetime risk increases from 10% for consuming less than 1 drink per week to 11.4% for 1 drink per day to 13.1% for 2 drinks per day. For women, the risk of developing any alcohol-related cancer is even worse, increasing from 16.5% for less than 1 drink per week to 19% for 1 drink per day to 21.8% for 2 drinks per day. Said Dr. Salisbury Afshar, in the past, some patients have believed that moderate red wine consumption was beneficial for health, but our current understanding of the literature suggests that this was likely inaccurate. While red wine was commonly consumed as a part of the Mediterranean diet, and some early studies suggested health benefits, more recent evidence highlights a range of health risks associated with any alcohol use.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, baby aspirin's good for you with your heart problem, then it's not. Fish oil's good, but now it does nothing. I don't know what the right thing is anymore, you know?
Yeah. It's hard to parse out what's good and what isn't. The problem is that science reporting and medical reporting in particular has always been a little sensational. Right? There's a study that comes out and they cherry pick a statement from it and they make that the headline because that gets the clicks. When really it's just a very moderate thing and it's only found in this population. So there's going to be more studies and more things happening.
Here's my opinion. The reason that a 6-ounce glass of wine once a day was considered healthy was because if that's really how you're drinking, then you're doing a lot of other things right in your life as well. You know what I mean? Like you finish your quinoa salad and now you want a nice little 6-ounce glass of Merlot. All right.
For sure. And studies that are doing it right do account for those factors, but some don't.
Right. There's many reasons to drink. All right. I've analyzed myself since I've been affiliated with the drinking industry for a long time with having a podcast. And once again, I mean, me and Scott do try to maintain some healthy habits. Like we will go a couple weeks without drinking between recordings. We will go dry. We've gone dry for 3 weeks. And when I had
2 to 3 weeks,
when I had bad gastritis, I mean, I went pretty much 2.5 months without drinking.
Yeah. And when COVID started, it was like 8 weeks, I think, that we didn't record from.
But I drank all through those 8 weeks. That's a bad example.
Well, that's true.
That's a bad example.
So forget that. Sorry.
But so like reasons to drink. It's like socially, I'm a big social drinker. It's like, hey, we're meeting and I'm out. I'm in a good mood, so I order a drink. You know, the key is, do I have to order 5 drinks? No, I don't. So I can have 2 drinks and still have a good time.
Yeah.
Another reason that I drink is sometimes, you know, you just get the fuck it. You're like, you know what? I had a fucking shitty day. I'm going to come home and I'm going to make a double-sized Manhattan. And after that, I realize I drank that really fast. I'm going to make another double Manhattan. And then I'm going to have another regular Manhattan. And then I'm going to call Scott on the phone and just talk trash about people for like half an hour. Meanwhile, he's in the gym working out. He wants no part of it. But that doesn't stop me.
Right. He called me twice and then he texted me 4 times. And I finally look at his text and it's like, what are you doing? Why are you ignoring me? And like all caps, I need you to answer me right now. And then he's like, I'm sorry. I'm just a little extra. I had a lot.
And then Scott texts me, what's going on right now?
What is happening right now?
And what happened was my work got canceled for the day, so I started day drinking at 2 o'clock while Scott was at work.
It was like a Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday, yeah. It was Tuesday at 2 o'clock. I just started drinking because I was mad that my work got canceled and that I was mad about some other stuff, and then I had some family stuff going on. So I said, Scott, I'm home. I got nothing else to do. I'm going to start drinking. So by the time Scott rolled in from work at like 5:30 or 6, I was already 3 sheets to the wind, as my grandfather used to say.
Yeah.
You know? But anyway, that's not a good reason to drink. I'm going to say that. But sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes I'm bored. It's like 9 o'clock on a Thursday. I'm like, I feel like you having a drink and just taking the edge off the day. And sometimes I want to taste something. I got a new whiskey. I want to see what it tastes like because we are connoisseurs of whiskey. We've tasted over 500 whiskeys. So when I get a new one, I'm like, let's see where this fits into the program.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, I'm sure that the worst thing you can do, which we occasionally do, and we'll be doing in 48 hours,
oh my God,
is binge drinking.
Yes.
Like to have 8-9 drinks at a time is probably the most destructive thing you can do to your system because you're kind of overloading your liver, overloading your system. And also the second thing to that would be having those 2 drinks every day, 30 days a month. I think that's also bad. Never giving your stomach and your liver in a system to collect itself, you know?
Right.
So yeah, there is certainly habits that you should avoid. I know people that drink a 6-pack of beer every day. Every day.
Wow.
I know people that have 2 scotches every day when they come home from work, Monday through Friday, and then they go on the weekends and drink more. Once again, some of those people, they work out, they eat salad, and it balances, and they live long, healthy lives. The Queen of England had 4 drinks a day every day of her life. She lived to be, what, 100? 99? Something like that?
Yeah, close.
It's documented. Yeah. We know it. And so did her mother, who also lived to be 100.
Yeah.
They had drinks together every day, 4 a day. Me and Scott do not have 4 drinks a day.
No.
Okay?
No. Most days I have no drinks.
That's very true.
So what you said about the binge drinking thing. Yeah. So that's a confounding factor in all this because some of these percentages are on average.
Yeah.
Because they're testing people and they're mostly like questionnaires.
Right.
And people could lie, I suppose,
Sure.
but it's anonymous. So, why would they lie? So they usually can trust anonymous data like this.
Yeah.
But if you were going to study the health effects of binge drinking, you'd have to do a completely different study.
Right.
And it's really hard to do an average when you have 8 drinks in a night, but that's all you have in a week.
Yes.
Which means that's just 1 drink per day.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a different thing. Like if you have
Yes.
wine with dinner
Yes.
every day is different than binge drinking 7 drinks on a Saturday.
Right. Like if I only do heroin once a year, but I overdose, like that's going to be worse
Exactly.
than if I do a little heroin every week.
And there's not a lot of like stuff around that.
The Whiskey Tangent Podcast does not advocate heroin use in any kind. Please party responsibly.
So,
Or at least don't share needles.
yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. So it's apples and oranges because it's hard to compare the two.
There's no way I tell the truth to my doctor because I honestly don't know how to answer it.
Yeah.
He's like, how many drinks do you have a week? Yeah, I don't know. 1 week, the answer could be none. Another week, it could be 2. Mm-hmm. Or this week, if you go Saturday to Saturday, well, I had about 9 drinks last Saturday, and I'm going to have about 10 drinks this Saturday.
At least.
And I had a couple on Sunday, too, of last week.
Right, because Eagles game.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've had one tonight.
Yes.
I'm going to have another one. So
So
this
two.
week, I'd be somewhere in the area of 25 drinks. But
Right.
next week, I plan to have none.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for me to answer that question. So I normally say I drink socially, which isn't a lie. And then I say, well, no, I like 8 drinks a week is what I say.
Yeah. So when you're doing this, you have to take that into account.
Correct.
Because if you don't drink 1 or 2 drinks a day, you might be, oh, well, I'm fine. But you might have binge drank 7 or 8 drinks over the weekend, or 12 or 13, and you don't really know because they haven't tested that. And it's unethical to test that. They can't say, hey, you go drink 16 drinks in a night. You do that once a week. You can't do that.
You could do it. Just get college students. They're doing it anyway for free.
No, that's unethical. No legitimate medical publication would peer review that study.
Just get
Oh my God. What are you trying to get us canceled? Jeez. All right. So the second
that's
story.
what some people would say.
Yeah. I mean,
Not me.
These stories have really sparked a lot of
I
conversation.
know. We've had a lot of talking between these. You picked some good stories, Scott.
Yeah. These are good stories. Oh, okay. So this next one is kind of long. That's what she said.
Oh, just showing that we're both so dumb.
Quality comedy.
Whatever.
From the Whiskey Wash, is 50-year-old bourbon possible? For a while now, whiskey age statements have been climbing the ladder, what with WhistlePig's The Big Shebang 30-year Canadian single malt recently grabbing headlines, and Gordon and MacPhail's 85-year Glenlivet Scotch now holding the record as the world's oldest single malt.
Yeah.
But for bourbon, aging a half century is almost unthinkable because the same heat and new oak that gives bourbon its power also sets hard limits on how long it can age. So why is it that Scotch can sleep for 8 decades while bourbon burns out around 2? Well, by law, bourbon must be aged in new charred oak, which floods the whiskey with caramelized sugars, vanillin, and spice in just a few years, while Scotch distillers almost exclusively employ used casks, which slows down the pace of aging as most of the barrel's flavor was extracted by the original spirit.
Yes.
Then there's the weather. In Kentucky and most of the U.S., the swings between summer and winter can be extreme, pushing and pulling the spirit in and out of the oak staves and speeding up maturation. But in Scotland's steady, cool climate, that same process takes much longer. However, even if an American distillery wanted to age a bourbon for 30, 40, or even 50 years, nature and the law would stop them. The first problem is evaporation, or the angel share. In Kentucky, whiskey loses on average 3 to 5% of its volume every year, whereas in Scotland, whiskey loses only 1 to 2% annually. So in Kentucky, a barrel can lose more than half its liquid over 20 years. After 30 years, there's typically not much left worth bottling. For example, Heaven Hill reported that 80% of the whiskey that became its 27-year-old bourbon evaporated away, with some casks ending up completely dry. Also, as bourbon ages in rickhouses, the proof can change with the humidity. On hotter, drier floors, alcohol alcohol stays while water evaporates and the proof increases. But on cooler, more humid floors, the reverse occurs, pushing proofs lower. So over a long enough period of time, barrels can be pushed under bourbon's minimum bottling requirement of 80 proof.
That's how Fireball came to be. Just kidding.
Again, using Heaven Hill's 27-year release as an example, some of their casks dropped to 79 proof, which was too low to sell as bourbon. And then finally, there's the oak itself. New charred barrels give bourbon its signature flavor, but the extraction is aggressive, with the spirit absorbing more tannins and wood compounds the longer it sits, so that even the best managed barrels can make the bourbon bitter, too woody, or overly astringent in just 1 decade, let alone 5. So can science do anything to change this natural calculus? Well, it can try. Buffalo Trace has built an experimental warehouse known as Warehouse P to age whiskey in a 45-degree Fahrenheit climate and test whether lower temperatures might allow longer maturation.
Interesting.
Also, finishing bourbon in different used barrels, such as wine or rum for longer periods, can offer a shortcut to longer age statements as long as the label clearly identifies it as bourbon whiskey finished in whatever it was finished
If they
in.
did, 2 years or 4 years? 2 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In new oak, and then threw it in a, Madeira wine or even another bourbon cask.
They can add that to the age statement.
Right.
But even with these options, Kentucky's evaporation, proof loss, and oxidation would likely destroy a barrel long before 50 years. Yeah. So unfortunately, the answer to whether 50-year-old bourbons are possible is no. But that isn't a flaw. It's part of what makes bourbon distinct. Sure, Scotch can slumber for longer than most people live, but bourbon burns bright and bold in half the time.
Did you ever ask AI if it can be done?
I don't know. You want to ask
you should
it?
Pause it. Let's find out.
Go ahead. We'll do it live. Do it live!
All right. Is it possible to make 50-year-old bourbon in America?
12 seconds later.
It's a great question. It touches both law and chemistry. Legally, yes, it's possible to make a 50-year-old bourbon in the U.S., but a few key points apply. Under the definition, bourbon must be made in the United States from at least 51% corn, aged in new charred oak containers, and bottled at 80 proof or higher. Practicality, though, it's extremely difficult to age bourbon for 50 years. Why? Evaporation, the angel share. In Kentucky's climate, barrels lose 3 to 5%. Over oaking, bourbon aged too long in a new charred oak barrel becomes harsh and bitter and tannic. Most bourbons reach their peak between 8 and 15 years. Beyond 20 years, the wood dominates. Yeah, the wood dominates. That's what they used to say about me in college.
Whatever.
Conditions, hot summers and cold winters accelerate extraction. So what's been done? The oldest bourbons ever bottled are typically between 25 and 30 years, whether a Pappy Van Winkle 23, a Michter's 25, or a Heaven Hill 27. Anything older is almost always bourbon finished or American whiskey, meaning it was moved to used barrels or reclassified. It's amazing. Everything that Scott said.
AI read the same articles I did.
AI covered the same thing. I'm really impressed by Scott and AI equally. So ChatGPT just gave us a nice summary of everything Scott just said.
That's right.
That's why you need to come to us. Riveting journalism.
Okay, so now we have next up, True Crime. So from the Associated Press, $1 million in whiskey stolen from Seattle Distillery.
I was nowhere near Seattle.
Ed? Ask AI. Who stole the whiskey? Ed stole the whiskey.
Right.
Obviously.
I'm being arraigned next week. It's been a joy to be with all of you.
Go ahead. So thieves who made off with 12,000 bottles of Westland Distilleries craft whiskey did more than just snag $1 million worth of product. They stole nearly half the amount of their first 10-year limited Garryana release.
Wow.
The whiskeys disappeared on July 31st when somebody in a freight truck showed up at their warehouse holding paperwork that gave them the right to pick up a shipment bound for, wait for it, New Jersey.
Oh. Now it's starting to look bad for Ed and Scott.
See? A week later, when the bottles never arrived at their intended destination, an investigation was launched, but now more than 2 months later, local police, distillery staff, and whiskey aficionados alike are all wondering when or even if the bottles will ever turn up.
I parked the truck on Gabe Street.
Gabe, don't look at your window.
Yeah, don't look to the right.
Yeah. As Whiskey Cask host Mark Gillespie put it, it's going to be really hard for whoever took this whiskey, Ed, to actually get it out onto the market because what they took is so rare that everybody now knows about it. We see these thefts occasionally in Scotland where thieves will steal a trailer full of whiskey and it usually ends up in Russia. And not to mention the fact that losing $1 million in inventory would put a lot of distilleries out of business. But Gillespie expects Westland to make it through the loss in part because they're owned by the Paris-based Remy Cointreau Group. Still, still, people who are eager to get a taste of Westland's Garryana whiskey should stick to the legal supply chains. And if somebody does try to offer you a case of Westland in the foreseeable future, you should probably call the cops.
Hey, kid, you ever try Westland? I got a bottle of Westland in my van.
It'll make you feel good.
Yeah, I spent the last year getting Gabe's DNA
Just spread it
all over the truck. He's like, there's like 3 glasses with his lip on it, that I took forever. Half a piece of pizza he ate. He didn't even notice me taking it. He just got another piece of pizza. He's so greedy.
Where you did some scotch tape and got his
put the fingerprints all over the window and all. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, I feel a little bad now.
Sorry, Gabe, you're going down.
Yeah, right.
You're going down, Brody.
I feel a little bad, but getting him some peace and quiet, it might actually be a gift for him. Where he just him in the cell.
Yeah.
Depends on his roommate.
12,000 bottles, though.
It's a lot of bottles.
I mean, this guy's right. How are you going to get rid of them? You're not.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The only way you could actually do it is if you got some type of a counterfeit labels for a different brand, right? And just sold it as Scott and Ed. For example, if we were to have Whiskey Tangent 10-year, especially if we said Scott and Ed's from the West 10-year.
Or if you already had somebody who was bankrolling the whole thing and they were going to take it and do exactly what you're saying. Open the bottles, rebottle them, new labels.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you might be able to label right on top of it.
Oh, you could.
I mean, that's the cheapest way to do it.
Right.
The other way is to soak them, get off the old labels, and put new labels right on, keep the same bottle. Dumping them out, now you're expensive. You got to buy 12,000 bottles, and 12,000 labels is going to cost you more than you want. You've already had to get a truck.
A lot going on. Yeah, Gabe. How do you do
Gabe,
this?
How'd you do it, Gabe? Well, Gabe had hundreds and hundreds of pineys down there. Those bottles...
Damn, you're right. He has an whole army.
Yeah, those bottles are so deep in the Pine Barrens of Jersey right now, they'll never find them.
Guys, if you don't live in Jersey, you don't know about the whole piney thing.
The Pine Barrens, New Jersey's known as this industrial center right over the river from New York. But that's the upper half. The lower half is full of farms and blueberry patches.
Yeah. And only 1/3 of the state, not even, probably 1/4 of the state, right outside of New York.
Right? So
it's very urban.
I'd say a third.
Okay. But 1/3 of the state is forests land.
Yeah, it's right in the middle state. It's the Pine Barrens. It's how many acres Pine Barrens? Look it up real quick.
Catch me off guard here.
White sand. Literally, you can get lost in the Pine Barrens very easily.
Just watch The Sopranos.
You can hide a truck in there of whiskey, and no one's going to find it if you don't want it to be found. So that's the advantage that Gabe has.
The Pine Barrens cover approximately 1.1 million acres, 22% of the state's land area.
Listen, I camped there as a kid. You get lost so easy.
Yeah.
And that's where Gabe has a truck, I think.
That's right.
Oh, that's where I put. Well, maybe Gabe stole it. We're not sure. I'm not admitting anything.
Sir.
Maybe Gabe was in on it. You don't know.
Maybe you and Gabe did it and didn't even tell me.
Right. Well, in that case, it'd be parked at your parents' house.
Wait, I'm calling my mom.
The empty truck is there. The whiskey's in the Pine Barrens, but the truck's on Scott's mom's house.
Mom? Is there a big truck with whiskey in it?
Scott, the FBI's here. What's going on? What did you guys do now? Dog in the background.
Okay.
Oh my God, we are off the rails.
Off the rails. All right, so let's get to the second true crime, and then we'll get to all the whiskeys that we can drink this month,
or this week if you're ambitious. If you want to be ambitious.
That's right. So from Fox 7 in Austin, a college football fan arrested with astonishing blood alcohol level.
Okay. I think my record was 3.27, Scott.
Really?
I'm sorry, wait, 0.327, I think is what they said when I woke up.
Right. Okay. During the October 11th football game in College Station, Texas, between the Texas A&M Aggies and the visiting University of Florida Gators, a person was approached by college police officers after allegedly exhibiting intoxicated behavior while eating a sandwich and drinking whiskey from a water jug.
Well, that's always a recipe for disaster.
After officers administered a breathalyzer, they discovered that the individual's blood alcohol content was 0.337.
Oh, he beat me.
He beat you.
Bastard.
Nearly 5 times the legal limit of 0.08, whereupon he was quickly taken to the stadium's emergency medical services. It probably goes without saying that a blood alcohol level that high is extremely dangerous, as it would put you at extreme risk for alcohol poisoning, leading to coma and death. The person was very likely about to lose consciousness when confronted, having demonstrated severely impaired motor skills and no comprehension of their surroundings. At this level, the central nervous system is suppressed, which leads to slow breathing and a heart rate which can be fatal. The individual, whose name was not released, was later charged with public intoxication and no doubt woke up with one hell of a Texas-sized hangover.
I got to tell you, man. Did you say you got a ticket?
Yeah, he was arrested and charged with public intoxication.
I don't know what he was doing, like if he was being an asshole or not, but I feel like public intoxication should really only be used if you're being an asshole.
Right.
Because think about this. I'm in a bar. I drank too much. My car is parked outside. I'm going to walk to the train station now and take a train home. I'm going to be good, right? And the cop pulls up on me because I'm like staggering a bit, and he's checking to see if, you okay? I said, yeah, am I right? A little buzzed up, just going to the train. Well, you got public intoxication. Here's a ticket.
Yeah.
Now, certainly this kid was intoxicated, and he certainly was unhealthy with what he did. But I mean, like, did you have to give him a ticket?
Right, because there wasn't a lot
Like,
of...
what if he died? Would you still give him a ticket? Like, or is death enough penalty?
Right. So there wasn't a lot of reporting in this. It was sort of like from a police blotter and like a Facebook post or whatever it was. And I think people called the cops because they were worried about his health.
Right.
He wasn't being an asshole. He was just sitting there. He was drinking way too much and eating a sandwich. So like, yeah, call the cops.
Might have saved his life.
Yeah. Yeah. Call the cops to help him. But should he be arrested?
What state was this?
It was Texas.
Might have been a nice brisket sandwich or something like that. I don't know.
Eating a big fucking sandwich.
I wonder if he was drinking Balcones out of that water jug.
No, Balcones stopped. They stopped their process.
Well, they had some out in the street already.
But no, I agree. I think it's the difference between the letter of the law and the spirit of the law.
Yeah.
And they took the letter of the law and they arrested him.
I mean, we're just busted. So we have no idea. Maybe the kid was being a raving maniac.
Right,
but
we
I
don't
mean,
know.
I'm just making a conversation.
Right. Okay, so that's the last story.
You forget the story.
Oh, that's right.
So I was up in North Jersey. I bumped into a guy who has a website, Wow, My World of Whiskey. And what this is a way to track your collection. So when you get a bottle, you put in what you paid for it, $750, $700, whatever it is, and then you're able to track your consumption and value. So I honestly forget what I have in my collection. I have 2 or 3 areas I hold my whiskey. Oh, shit, look at this. I forgot I had this. Happens all the time. So this guy, Larry is his name, LJK Apps LLC. If you are interested in checking this out, please go to www.myworldofwhiskey.com and little acronym WOW comes up. It's pretty cool. I've maneuvered it a bit. He showed me his. He has a very big collection. He has hundreds of bottles. And there's also a community where you can share your collection with other people and you can talk about your bottles.
Oh, cool.
So once again, www.myworldofwhiskey.com. So check that out, okay? And now we're going to get into what whiskeys we can buy this month.
All right, so we have 16, but the first 6 are going to be all in one collection.
Ooh, I know what collection that is.
It knows what it is. It's
The Never Able to Find collection. It's the Whiskey Museum collection.
AKA the 2025 Buffalo Trace
Antique collection. With a new member.
Yes. So the first 5 members of the collection are Eagle Rare 17. It's 101 proof. Buffalo Trace Mash Bill number 1. Tobacco, leather, caramel, vanilla, and a crack of peppery spice. The George T. Stagg 142.8 proof.
Wow. Hi, bro.
Their second highest ever. That's also their mash bill number 1. 15 years, 4 months. Oak spice, vanilla, chocolate, and red fruit.
The only one of the original collection that we haven't featured on the podcast.
Correct.
We don't have the new member either because it just came out this year.
If anyone wants to send us that,
Yeah, anybody who wants to send us a bottle of
Please do.
Or half a bottle of George T. Stagg, or just an empty bottle we can smell.
that's right. Go to whiskeytangent@gmail.com.
And if Larry from World of Whiskey wants to send us a George T. Stagg, we'd love to take one from him.
That's right. Does he have one in his collection?
I don't know. He's got a couple hundred bottles. I'm sure he does.
Next one is William Lure Weller. It's 129 proof, 12 years, 7 months aged. It's the Buffalo Trace Weeded Mash Bill, cherry liqueur, maple candies, flourless chocolate cake, oak spice, and plenty of vanilla. The Sazerac 18-year rye is next. That's 90 proof. The Buffalo Trace Rye Mash Bill. We just did it on our last episode.
Just tried it last week.
Pleasant cinnamon spice, sweet oak, and faint earthy flavors.
Very earthy, yep.
The Thomas H. Handy Sazerac Rye, which we also tasted
Just
on that
last
episode
week.
and made a Sazerac cocktail out of.
We did.
129.8 proof, this one is. 6 years, 3 months aged. That's
Right.
also the Rye Mash Bill. Delicious rye spice mingles with bright berry fruit, plenty of chocolate, and vanilla cream. And the newcomer this year,
Yes.
we teased that it was an E.H. Taylor
Yes.
expression,
Yes.
but they didn't tell us which one it was, and it turns out that it's the Bottle and Bond. It's 100 proof, 15 years aged, Their mash bill number 1, awash with toasted sugar, barrel char, baking spice, and a hint of red fruit. The MSRP for each one of these is $150.
Right.
But again, good luck.
Good luck. Ironically, we have in our possession unopened bottle of Colonel E. H. Taylor single barrel bottle and bond.
We do.
It's not this one, but it's going to be interesting. We can at least try it and have an idea of what that tastes like, right? I mean, if it's an 8 or 10 year bottle and bond, E. H. Taylor, we're definitely going to taste it and find a use for it. It better be amazing.
Better be.
Right. Or I'll smash it. I'll throw it out the window.
All right. So those are the first 6, and then we'll do 7 through 16.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one we do is 1792 Cognac Cask Finished Bourbon.
Interesting.
So from Barton's, the first cask finished bourbon to become a permanent part of the 1792 lineup, although they did release a port finish version in 2015.
I remember that.
It follows the same blueprint as their flagship bourbon, maintaining an identical high rye mash bill, fermentation process, and distillation method. It is then transferred into cognac casks and placed on the top floors of the distillery's warehouses.
Interesting.
95 proof, no age statement, although it says 4 years at least, originally plus 6 months in the cognac cask. The mash is not disclosed. Plum, apricot, cherry, bananas foster, creamy vanilla, and sweet oak. $38.
$38 for the cognac one. The Barton's Full Proof is one of the best bargains on the market. $45 to $49, depending on where you can find it. Around 125 proof?
The full proof is 125, yeah.
Yeah. And I just finished the bottle and bond the other night, which was fine, but nothing like the full proof.
Yeah. Next up is the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Rye. So since its debut in 2013, the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof line has only included bourbon. However, brand owner Heaven Hill has just announced an expansion of the range, its first ever Barrel Proof Rye, batch A925. Once again, A denotes that it is the first release of the year, 9 is the release month, September, and 25 is the year. It's 108 proof, 12 years, 3 months aged, 51 rye, 35 corn, 14 malted barley, gingerbread, sweet molasses, stewed fruit, cinnamon, nutmeg, and rye spice, $75.
I mean, they've been doing some amazing barrel strength things over the last couple of years. I mean, the Elijah Craig doesn't have a bottle and bond expression because Heaven Hill has so many. But what they've been doing is really exploring the cask strength, which you don't see in the other. There's no Henry McKenna cask strength. There's no Heaven Hill cask strength that I know of.
Right. There's no real need to do.
Right. So Elijah Craig has become their barrel strength. So for them to now move to a cask strength rye, I'm intrigued, and I'm sure Scott is as well because he's a rye guy.
Yeah, that'll be great to taste.
Yeah.
One day, if I can get it.
Oh, 75 is not crazy.
If we see it on the shelves.
Christmas is coming up. Might be a good Christmas present for you.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe 2/3 of a bottle for you. I'll drink 1/3 of it and then give it to you.
I hate you. I hate you so much. The next one is Hirsch.
And if I had Larry's World of Whiskey, I'd be able to track that. I'd be able to say like the bottle went from full to 2/3, and then I gave it to you. And then it would just adjust my color.
You can track that.
I can, yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I would
good.
every time I drank 2 ounces, I would minus it, and then I would go back in and be like, "How much am I giving Scott now? Oh, it's 2/3 of a bottle. Perfect. Thank you, Larry. I'm giving it to Scott."
Okay, so the next one is Hirsch Cask Strength Hine Cognac Finished Bourbon. We went to Hirsch tasting recently at Benash.
Oh, it was wonderful.
From Hodling and Company's Hirsch label, this is a sourced Kentucky bourbon from an undisclosed distillery, probably Bardstown Bourbon Company, aged in char number 3 and toasted barrels, then finished in casks that previously held 30-year-old Hine Cognac, which is part of the Hodling portfolio.
Why wouldn't it be?
Right. 114 proof, 5 years and 8 months originally, plus 1 year and 1 month in the cognac casks. 72 corn, 13 rye, 15 malted barley. Vanilla, baking spice, almond, light nutmeg, and citrus with a dry tannic finish, $180.
Right, $180. Now that sounds crazy, but here's the deal. Hirsch gives you plenty of affordable whiskey to drink. All right, they have a whole single barrel series, 43, 48, 52. Really good. 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, whatever.
Yeah.
Very drinkable. You'll love it. Trust me. They were delicious. And then when I retired, if you listen to one of our quick tastes we did about 2 years ago, I got one of the Hirsches that was like $220. It was like a 7-9 year or something like a.
I forget now too.
I forget too.
Here, I'm going to look it up.
And so they give you treat whiskeys too. But if you're like, I'm not spending $180 for a Hirsch, that's fine. You can buy 3 Hirsches for $180.
Okay, so this was also a cognac finished cask bourbon.
Okay.
I don't think it was the Hine Cognac that is part of their portfolio now, although maybe it was.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Fuck if I know. And that was like, I believe, $220 about.
Right. So honestly, the prices have come down.
Yeah.
So the next one we have is Garrison Brothers.
Oh.
They have a new one called Sonora.
That's fun.
Straight bourbon. Texas Distillery Garrison Brothers' latest release is named after the limestone caverns of Sonora, which are 100 million years old and home to a complex network of calcite crystal formations.
Wow, 100 million years old. That's crazy, bro.
The bourbon spent its first 4 years in American oak before being finished in 3 years in barrels from an unnamed source that once held 12-year-old rye.
Interesting.
108 proof, 7 years aged, 74 corn, 15 rye, 11 malted barley, dusty wood, leather, tobacco, tannic oak, dark fruit, vanilla, caramel, maple, and a bit of spice, 160.
Dusty Wood, that's like my stripper name.
Nobody wants to see that.
That's why I don't make any money. I pay them.
You pay them to look at your dusty
That's
wood.
right. Yeah, I'm on stage and I just throw money into the crowd.
Dusty Wood's at the stage, Dusty Wood. Where'd everybody go?
That's so bad.
Okay, so the next one we have is Old Overholt Extra Aged Cask Strength 12-Year Rye. Coming after the brand's 2023 10-year rye release and an 11-year rye in 2024, they're back with another extra aged rye. I guess they're doing this every year now.
Yeah.
That was distilled and barreled in the spring of 2013 and then recently dumped and bottled and barrel proof. It's between 106 and 130 proof, 12 years aged, 80 rye, 20 malted barley, which I didn't realize was Old Overholt's rye mash bill.
Exactly.
Black pepper, baking spices, cherry, green peppercorn, sweet caramel, vanilla, brown sugar, honey, leather, and charred oak, 110.
I mean, I'd love it at 80, but it's worth 110. It really is.
Right, but 110 for a 12-year, that is up to 130 proof.
No, but I think it's because I know the bottle and bond is $24.
Right, and the bottle and bond is delicious.
Right.
Yeah.
But
which makes me intrigued to
right.
taste this.
Yeah. We saw the 11-year-old in Kentucky,
Yeah.
and it was similar to the same price, but we were buying so much whiskey that week. We're like, I can't
Yeah.
spend $110 on an Old Overholt. I just can't.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Every now and then, when Scott and I like, let's just buy it together. Because $55 for half a bottle doesn't seem as bad.
Right, it doesn't.
Especially because I know I'm going to secretly drink more than him because I drink faster.
I know, you bitch.
And so it's really like...
He's like, well, half is a bargain because I'm going to drink 2/3 of it.
Right. It's like I spend money for a half, but get 2/3. And if you had Larry's app, you'd be able to tell how much I'm cheating Scott. I'm cheating him out of like 5 ounces.
Larry's going to have to pay us some money for mentioning it 3 times already. All right. So
It's okay. Larry, you're fine.
That's fine. The next one is, again, I don't know why I'm featuring these. I haven't bought any, but these intrigue me. So Penelope has put out another old-fashioned cocktail. This one, apple cinnamon.
Yeah, so what I like about the bottled cocktails, sometimes it's like I don't feel like drinking straight whiskey.
Right, sometimes you just want a cocktail.
I want a cocktail, but I'm going to a non-whiskey person's house, right? They're a beer person or a wine person. So I can grab like the High West or the Bullet or even the On the Rocks.
Yeah.
They're drinkable. They're enjoyable, actually, you know? And you can doctor them up with a little citrus or
Right,
something.
and all you have to do is like pour them over ice or chill
Yeah.
them or whatever.
Right, or chill them even better because
Yeah.
you don't want to water them down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm always looking for one. Now an apple cinnamon one makes me go like, that's like Christmas to me.
Sure,
So,
but look at the season that we're coming into.
all right, so I'd put it in a pot and I'd heat it up. And I'd have a hot toddy.
Okay.
But that's my first thought when I hear apple cinnamon. So tell us about it.
Yeah, so MGP owned Penelope Bourbon is backed with another flavored old fashioned. Its third, a premixed cocktail made with rye and bourbon, which is the foundation of their previous maple sweetened peach and black walnut iterations.
Yeah.
While natural fruit juices and extracts are common in the ready to drink cocktail space, the label opts to use bitters instead as the driving force of the flavors, making for minimal dilution and higher ABVs. It's 80 proof and no age statement or mash. Of course, it's a cocktail. Apple pie, warm holiday cider, sweet fruit, rich caramel, light oak, cinnamon rolls, vanilla glaze, and churros. $30.
What's the proof on it? Like 70 or something?
80.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
So $30 for a 750 milliliter bottle of cocktails.
Right. It's a bargain.
Right. So
Right.
you're going to get like 8 cocktails.
Well, the way I pour it, at least 6.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Right.
25 ounces. So 6 times 4 is 24, right?
Yeah.
So,
You're getting 3 to 4 times the number of cocktails that you would get versus just buying this bottle.
Right.
I think that's a tremendous deal.
Right. So you're getting $5 for a 4-ounce old fashioned. That's not bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. The next one we have is Sagamore Reserve Series 10-year rye.
So I know they're putting their own juice and stuff, but this has to be sourced.
Yeah, this is sourced. So Baltimore-based Sagamore has unveiled its oldest whiskey to date, a 10-year rye blend that achieves the label's signature Maryland style, which...
Yeah, they put Old Bay in it. I'm just kidding. They don't.
And crabs.
They put crab and Old Bay in it. Yeah, and Chesapeake Bay water.
No, which has a sweeter, more full-bodied flavor profile as opposed to the spice-forward Pennsylvania rye. Although Sagamore has recently been phasing in their house distillates, this whiskey is sourced from MGP. It's 110.8 proof, 10 years aged. The mash is not disclosed. Sweet citrus, peppermint, sarsaparilla, pink peppercorn, peach, Jolly Ranchers, brown sugar, nutmeg, and Nilla wafers, $80.
I like it better at 65. It's all sourced. It is 10 years old, though, and MGP makes amazing
and
juice.
It's 110.
It's
no
110.
slouch.
Yeah, you're right.
No slouch.
You're right.
The next one we have is Stranahan's. Has put out the new Diamond Peak.
Oh, wow.
So back to episode 86, where we did their Diamond Peak from last year. This one is called the Local Brewer's Cask American Single Malt.
Nice.
So Stranahan's partnered with 4 local Colorado breweries, each of which used Stranahan's barrels to age their beer, among them a coffee stout, barley wine, and Belgian quad.
Nice.
Then sent the barrels back to the distillery to finish their regular American single malt.
Wait, so they made Stranahan's whiskey, the regular single malt.
Yes.
They sent it to the breweries to finish their beers in.
Correct.
And then they brought them back to finish the whiskey in.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're all kind of different because they're like some's a stout, some's a this, some's a that.
Yeah, and then they combine them all together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, we're definitely getting that.
Yeah, it's 90 proof. It's 4 to 6 years age originally, plus 18 months in those particular barrels.
Yeah.
100% malted barley. Dried orange peel, candied ginger, rum raisin ice cream, coffee, spiced fruitcake, pineapple, papaya, cigar box, fermented tea leaves, birch, cedar, mulberries, and a touch of hard apple cider, $80.
That's some amazing tasting notes. They've been definitely sitting at the lap of barrel
Yes.
to learn how to do your tasting notes. $80, we're definitely doing it.
Absolutely.
Let's get it right now.
I love it.
Get the car.
We're going right now? We're
Get
going?
the car.
We're going. I'm a little drunk. We're back. Somehow we made it.
The store was closed. Damn it.
All right, so 2 more.
Yeah.
And then we get to what's coming up for the rest of the year. The rest of the whole year. People, you don't understand.
All 2 months.
All 2 months. That's right. I hate you. Toki Black Japanese blend.
Oh.
Suntory has announced Toki's first limited edition expression, which aims to capture some of the same qualities of the original, namely the low ABV, the approachability for newcomers, and the mixability in cocktails. But it's also trying to move the flavor in a different direction by using peated malt and grain whiskeys from their Hakushu distillery to add a new smoky dimension.
Interesting.
86 proof, 12 years and 3 months aged. Mash is not disclosed. Apple oregano, honeysuckle, butterscotch, clove, cinnamon, toasted rosemary, white pepper, ginger, and gentle smoke, $40.
Why is it $40 for a 12-year aged Japanese whiskey?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. And it's 6 proof points higher. Normally they're an 80.
Yeah.
Is it mind controlling or something? Like they're making us get it so we all just drink it and get
Yeah, that 12-year age statement is crazy. And I had some people on Reddit who were like kind of like purportedly 12 years, but Suntory said that.
Even if it's 8, it's $40.
It's crazy.
We're getting the Diamond Peak.
And we're getting the Toki Black.
And we're getting the Toki. Those two were definitely getting. And there was another one we talked about. Oh, the Elijah Craig Rye.
Definitely getting that too.
That was like 75. So we're
All right,
going to get them and we'll tell you all about them.
Quick taste coming near you.
Yeah.
All right. And the last one we have is the one that was stolen from the distillery in Seattle, the Westland Garryana 10-year American single malt.
Thanks, Gabe.
Or maybe you.
No evidence. No evidence that I have 12,000 bottles stuffed in my 2-bedroom apartment.
You get 2 stuff in your pants right now.
Happy to be on air, everybody. Just happy to be here.
All right, so the 10th edition is also the 10-year, which is interesting, of Westland's Garryana American Single Malt, a whiskey that highlights the oak species native to the Pacific Northwest, Quercus Garryana, marks the Seattle Distillery's first ever age statement release. While first and second fill Garryana cask are, of course, the stars of the show, the whiskey also spent time in barrels that once contained rum, bourbon, and Pedro Jimenez. 100 proof, 10 years aged, 100% malted barley, ripe berries, stone fruit, baked apples, figs, milk chocolate, malt, cinnamon, brown sugar, espresso, oak, and a touch of smoke, $150. Now remember, 3,000 were stolen.
I mean, that's a good whiskey.
So I'm wondering if they upped the price because 3,000 were
I
stolen.
mean, isn't insurance going to pay them off for that, though? At least a chunk
well,
of it.
right. So that's what that guy said. It's like because they're owned by Remy Martin, right?
I mean, Mary Martin's got insurance. I mean, they have to have big policies. I don't know if they have $1 million policy. But remember, $1 million is a street value, not what it costs them.
True.
Well, I'm not that I'm downplaying the impact.
Well, since you have 12,000 of them, since you have the whole inventory, well, right. So
Allegedly.
3,000 was of this brand, but 9,000 were of the other Westland whiskeys.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so the next thing we do is what's coming up on the podcast, and we're going to do the next whole 2 months until the end of the year. So the first Friday in November is the 7th. There's going to be no podcast because Daddy needs a break. The next week will be a full episode 88, Irish Fest 2025.
Right, we haven't. I love Irish whiskey. We haven't done as many episodes as I would have liked, but things happen on here. You know, we do Scotch, we do Irish. I mean, Scott and I went to New York a couple of times and spent the whole day just drinking Irish whiskey. I mean, one day we drank 15 different Irish whiskeys. And that's okay, because, by the way, I don't have responsibilities that day. I just had to find my way back to my hotel. Another time we did Irish whiskeys in the morning, and then for some reason decided to do mezcal all night. And it was a great day. And they were delicious. It was expensive, and Scott doesn't remember part of his life.
I don't. In New York City, you are a harsh mistress.
Right. But what's next?
We're going to do the Pinhook 10-year quick taste with Marty and Rachel, our 6th iteration of the Pinhook.
We've bought a bottle each time. We still have a 7, 8, 9, and now we'll have a 10. So we technically have 4 that we could taste against each other. The main most important is 9 versus 10.
Yeah. So the next one after that, on the 28th, will be Doug's Vault.
Right. So we
Again.
We did a Doug's Vault on air, which you can go back and listen to.
3 years ago.
And we did a Doug's Vault off air, which you can't listen to, but it was worse for me.
We did not record that.
I'm dead honest, I don't remember leaving Doug's either time I was there. Okay?
I thought I left my equipment in the Uber.
Yeah. Scott woke up at my house hammered at like 4 a.m, went down to check his trunk to see that he had put his stuff in there.
This is what Doug does to us.
I mean, last time when he had 3 surprise, we went up to 15 whiskeys. I had already pre-gamed 3 whiskeys because
I know. We have to be good.
We have to be
We
good.
can only like half-ounce pours.
Not even.
Half-ounce pours.
All right, half-ounce pour. So if I do 10, it'll be 5
Well, and we're going
ounces.
to take breaks.
Yes.
We'll take breaks every 4
Yeah,
whiskeys.
and I'm eating every 15 minutes.
Right.
Well, that's just normal. But anyway, so...
So then we're into December. On the 5th, we're going to do a full episode 89, Spirits of the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Right, this taps into a theme we have with Brian, which was the Viking whiskeys.
Oh, well, the first one we did was the other whiskeys of the British Empire. We
Right.
did like Wales and England and South Africa and Australia.
Yes.
And then we did Spirits of the Vikings, and we did all of the Nordic countries.
Right, the Scandinavian whiskeys.
Iceland, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and Finland.
Right.
And now we're doing 5 different whiskeys of countries in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, including Austria and Hungary.
Exactly.
Yeah, hopefully.
Not Germany, by the way. I found out
No.
Germany's not part of that.
No, and
that was part of the Holy Roman Empire.
That's right. 3 others.
And it would be great to have Brian back. It's been so long. He
Yeah,
had a child.
It's been a long time.
And he's been spending a lot of time being dad.
2 children now. He has a boy and a girl now.
Wow. I mean, are they Irish twins? Like, how fast did he have them?
Well, he hasn't been on for like
Are
2
they with
years.
the same woman? Or do you have
Yes.
2? Oh,
No.
good. Oh, good.
My goodness.
Oh, I just want to be sure. I mean, to get him out that fast.
Mrs. Bryan, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I know people have had kids that close together with other people.
Yes, and I know them too. All right, so after that, we're going to do the Jack Daniel's single malt quick taste. Brian,
Trying to find a single malt
the
Jack
Whiskey
Daniels.
Explorer, has an expression.
I am so excited. I mean, if you listen to us, you know that we've been trying to find the Jack Daniel's single malt. It appears in a mix in their triple mash, but
You can't get it
Can't get
unless
it in
you're.
America.
It's like the travel or military sector.
Yeah, you have to be in a duty-free coming into America.
So after that, on the 19th, we're going to do the November-December news.
Yes.
And closing out the year, releasing on Christmas Eve, our annual Christmas bonus episode with Sue and Siobhan.
Yes.
Back on the podcast, finally.
It's been a long time for both of them.
Yes, it has.
Yes.
And that's it.
We have a lot of great stuff coming up. I want to thank Scott for all his diligent work getting the stories. Once again, I want to urge Gabe to turn himself in and at least take the fall from my theft. For everybody else, I hope you enjoyed it. This was a little bit long, but we had a lot of great things to share. A lot of great whiskeys, a lot of great stories. So for the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, I'm Ed.
I'm Scott.
Cheers, everybody.
Later.